His heart is too good, he's not that type of guy. Those weren't just words, they were Michael Jordan's final verdict on one of the most dominant forces the NBA has ever seen, Shaquille O'Neal. But what did he mean by that? How could Shaq, a 7'1", 300-pound wrecking ball, be seen as soft by the most ruthless competitor in basketball history? Well, today we deep dive into the moment Michael Jordan stopped being intimidated by Shaq and what the moment really tells us about two very different legacies, two very different killer instincts, and the fine line between greatness and greatness with an edge. The 1990s weren't like today's NBA. It was physical, it was gritty, it was violent at times. Every hard foul was calculated, every stare down was psychological warfare. If you fell, you were expected to get up on your own. No handshakes, no smiles, just war. Players like Charles Oakley, Dennis Rodman, and Bill Laimbeer didn't just defend, they punished. And for Michael Jordan, rising to the top meant surviving those battles and learning to become a killer himself. He didn't just outscore opponents, he broke them, mentally, emotionally, and every time he did, he looked at them in the eye as if to say, I told you this would happen. So when Jordan returned to the NBA in 1995, he wasn't expecting compassion. He wasn't looking for kindness, and he definitely wasn't prepared for what he saw in Shaquille O'Neal. In 1995, Shaq was already a monster. In just his third year, he averaged nearly 30 points and 11 rebounds per game. He was moving like a guard, jumping like a wing, and dunking like the backboard owed him money. But MJ wasn't intimidated. Not really. Not even by that. And here's where the story takes a turn. Because during one of their first matchups that season, Jordan recalled charging at Shaq on a drive, unsure if he should pull up or go all the way. He chose the latter. He went right at the big man and got flattened. No surprise there, really. But what happened next? That was the real surprise. Shaq offered him a hand. And just like that, the illusion was shattered. That one gesture, that one act of sportsmanship was enough for Michael Jordan to make his judgment. Shaq wasn't a killer.
Shaquille that might really hit him hard. MJ is down. Shaquille came over and really hit him. Now he's lifted him up.
Now, to most people, offering a hand is a good thing, a sign of respect, decency. But to Michael Jordan, it was a sign of weakness. Because to him, greatness didn't come with a smile. It came with scars, bruises, blood even. You didn't help your enemies up. You stepped over them. You stared them down like Scottie did to Patrick Ewing when he dunked all over him after one of the coldest dunks in NBA history. You taunted them, just like AI did when he crossed MJ over in '97. Jordan respected ruthlessness. He thrived in it. So when Shaq picked him up off the floor, he made a quiet mental note. This guy's heart is just too good. And just like that, the intimidation was gone. That same year, the Orlando Magic had a real chance. Shaq was ascending, Penny Hardaway looked like the next great point guard of the league. The team was fast, athletic, and hungry. And in the 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals, they beat the Bulls. It was the only time in the Jordan era that a team truly got the better of him in the playoffs, aside from the bad boy Pistons years before his first three-peat. But Jordan wasn't impressed, because he wasn't himself yet. And they didn't look like killers to him either. Sure, Orlando had pieces, but they lacked that cold edge, that championship nastiness. There was no taunts, no dagger looks, just a win, a series win. And Jordan knew that window wouldn't stay open long. By the 1995-96 season, Jordan was fully back. He averaged 30.4 points, led the Bulls to a then record 72 wins, and when they saw the Magic again in the Eastern Conference Finals, absolutely no mercy was shown. It wasn't just a win, it was a message. Chicago swept Orlando in 4 ruthless games. The Magic were dismantled, physically and emotionally, after their win in '95. That was at the end of their run. Shaq would leave for LA shortly after that. Penny never hit those same heights, and then injuries took over. The dream died really quickly. And for Jordan, it all traced back to that one moment, that hand, that sign that, in his eyes, said, I'm not here to destroy you. Now, here's where it gets all a bit layered, because Jordan's comments make sense from his perspective. But we also have to look at Shaq's full picture. Yes, he wasn't a killer in Jordan's sense, but that doesn't mean he didn't dominate or wasn't a killer in his own sense. Shaq scared the hell out of most of the league, let's be honest. From 2000 to 2002, he was arguably the most unstoppable force the league had ever seen. 3 finals MVPs, pure destruction in the paint, and nobody, I mean nobody, could guard him. But off the court, Shaq was a teddy bear, always smiling, always joking, buying laptops for kids, paying off families' layaways, donating to charities without seeking credit. That's who he was and still is. He brought joy, not fear, to the world around him. And maybe that's why Jordan couldn't fully respect him on that killer level. Because Shaq's greatness came from power, not pain. From dominance, not destruction. So what do we make of this? Was Shaq really soft? Is that even fair to say? Or did he just play differently? Was he just different? Jordan played like his life depended on it. He needed enemies. He needed darkness. That's how he built his legend. Shaq, he wanted to dominate and have fun while doing it. And while that may have cost him a bit of that killer mystique in Jordan's eyes, it didn't stop him from building a Hall of Fame career and becoming one of the most beloved figures in sports history. And in a way, that's the most fascinating contrast. One man became a global icon by crushing the competition and stepping over them. The other became an icon by smiling through the storm and lifting others up even when they were the enemy. Jordan never forgot that moment when Shaq offered him a hand. And maybe we shouldn't either. Because in that one gesture, we saw the difference between the two kinds of greatness. We ultimately saw them both as killers, but in 2 different ways. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you agree with Jordan? Is the killer instinct essential for all-time greatness? Or can dominance come with a smile? If you like this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more NBA deep dives. My name is Damian Peters, this is Basketball Network, and we'll catch you in the next one.